Good morning, and welcome to another insurrective episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your seditious and subversive host, Voice of Doom. I'm looking out the window, see a lady being dragged. She's being dragged behind the bushes, and now she's being stabbed. Well, do you think I ought to call the cops and blow the thing? But Monopoly is so much fun, I hate to blow the game. Though I do not think it'd interest anybody outside a small circle of friends. Bum 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 bum. I was just going to throw that song in from the long distant past. I think it was written in the 1400s. And it was a song about apathy. It's nothing new. People have ignored crime since time immemorial, but now it's more pronounced because people are getting worse by the day. It's not just they're ignoring things happening outside the window, they're ignoring things happening right in front of their eyes, and worse yet, they're recording things happening right in front of their eyes just to see if they can get their little video on YouTube and get a bunch of hits and have it go viral. That's what they're concerned about, fame, no matter how ridiculous the fame is. So record a woman being molested and raped for many minutes, much like somebody's neck was being kneeled on for many minutes without doing anything about it. And it's part and parcel of the fall. So it's all tied together. So everyone cannot have to worry about why these bad things will be happening to us, because we know why. Everybody knows why. And I don't want to go into detail about it. It's been done already. It's disgusting. And the human race is turning into a disgusting, despicable bunch of malignant organisms. I won't even call them animals. I'll say malignant organisms. That's what we're turning into, and we're going to suffer. And I told you, many people are going to be gone. But I'm getting a little bit miffed. So that's yesterday's mashed potatoes. We'll move on to something else. I had to browse through the news. And who should be giving a speech in front of the flag? Stars and Stripes Forever. They can use that. They can be in front of flags and play Stars and Stripes. But if other people do it, that's a dog whistle. Dog whistle for the very racist crap, bile, disgusting speech by a senile cur railing against racism when his whole speech reeked of it. I mean, watch it. Watch the whole stupid thing. I know it's torture. I couldn't watch the whole thing in one sitting without having my stomach churn and I wanted to bring up my breakfast. Equal justice under the law. I mean, I'm just hearing snippets. I'm not even listening carefully because you don't have to. He's not making any sense anyway. Equal justice under the law. That I'd like to see. If there was equal justice under the law, guess who would be the first one in the docket? Guess who would be the first one dragged away and taken downtown to be booked? For so many charges, they would need, I don't know what they'd need. They need an extra computer. They'd need more room on the internet to file the charges. I'm talking Petri dish. Equal justice under the law. Yeah, equal justice for his no good, no account son. Equal justice for the Clinton gang. Equal justice for the FBI officials who get their jobs back after being totally incompetent and corrupt. Equal justice for officials in the government that shirk their responsibilities, or equal justice for those that, stomp and tread and take and pulverize our basic rights of even having a say in how our kids are brought up. So equal justice under the law, that's a good one. We're going to have jobs, services, and summer programs for teenagers to keep them out of trouble. I've been hearing that since 1969. It sounds so much like Carter, the old guard of the people that are leaving us. Those old guard summer programs. They're all going to flock to the summer programs. That works once in a blue moon. The people that want to succeed, succeed. And if there's gangs outside, then don't go outside and study at home. And then get the hell out of the neighborhood. Blacks still have no rights. All these years, we've been trying so hard. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Dr. Benjamin Carter, representatives and touts for equal rights and examples of how you can succeed. And Larry Elder, all of them. Still, blacks have no rights, none. So Jim Crow is still alive and well in Petri Dish's world. They're not just suppressing black votes. I found this out from Petri Dish today. They're not just suppressing and not allowing them to get down to the ballot box to vote, keeping them away from the ballots, away from the electioneering. They're taking the votes away after they vote. They're calling out the black votes. You listen to what he said. I never knew that before. So if you go into any election facility, they're going to, I don't know if they have you on tape or if they jot down something next to your ticket number, but the black people's votes are discarded immediately after they vote. So Petri Dish is onto something there. Veterans can't vote either, apparently. Their voting rights are being trampled on. I guess Petri wanted to make sure that he was equal in his condescension. He didn't want to just do it to people of color, but he wanted to condescend to veterans too, which he's always had the utmost respect for. You can tell how much he respects veterans. So veterans can't vote. So we have to expand the Voting Rights Act, because that way everybody has the right to vote. So simple. They didn't have it before. There's so many people I saw in town. They were moaning and groaning because they couldn't vote. They said, I wanted to vote and I was registered, but when I got down there, they said, no, you're not allowed. So that's a horrible thing. We got to do something about that. And then here we go to the real brilliance. God, he's Socrates. He's Seneca. He's Marcus Aurelius. White supremacy is the most dangerous threat to homeland security. Now, I know that just because you have an open border and letting anybody in from any part of this world, and you're flying people in from various terrorist hotspots, and you've allowed terrorism to get a breath of new life and new fresh air, there's no terrorists coming over the border. I don't know why these Republicans always get afraid that just because the border is open and people can do absolutely whatever they want, and the border is being run and administered by a multi-billion-dollar international drug cartel, which have branched out. They were doing well with drugs, but then they realized they could actually, branch out and start subsidiaries of human trafficking, fentanyl, or that's already the drugs, but, human trafficking, human slavery, sex slavery, just migration in the first place. They can make money all up and down the line, from Panama all the way to what used to be the border. They can make money. So they rake in billions, but they're not allowing terrorists through. That's one thing I like about the cartel, is they're very careful about vetting people and who and what goes across the border. So I'm thankful for them, because it's the white supremacists we have to worry about, and I've seen them, and they are scary people. And when they band together, boy, you better watch out. I've seen skinheads, and I saw them wreck a nightclub. I saw it up close. And I just happened to be at a vantage point where I could kind of observe it without getting beat up myself. And you may say you're a hypocrite because I didn't do anything about it, but you really, when you see three guys and another guy's on the ground and they're kicking them with steel-toed boots, it's kind of like, I can't do much about this myself, because it was mayhem, and it was at the Anti-Club on Melrose Avenue. I'm not bullshitting you. I think I make stuff up just for drama. I was at the right place at the right time so I could describe it to you. Yeah, there was a skinhead band, and they put them on last, which is the stupidest thing you can do, because you've already given three bands a chance to play already, and a lot of those bands have lyrics that don't sit well with the skinheads. And so the skinheads never got a chance to play because they started beating up and destroying the band that was on before them, and broke all their equipment and beat the crap out of them like Nazis. And I realized how vicious these skinheads are, and the place was cordoned off by police for about 2 or 3 blocks around Melrose. And a lot of us were just in there, just kind of watching it, because we weren't into stampeding, and people were kind of blasé. I mean, it's like, yeah, stay out of harm's way, but what are we going to do? It's a total melee. It's a riot. The owner came out and blasted a shotgun. I don't know if they have blanks in shotguns, but she pointed it up in the ceiling and pulled off a shot. And everybody kind of stopped in their tracks. And then the police closed in, and I kind of got out of there. And when I left, there were police everywhere, and they looked at me and go, "This is just some, Hollywood hipster. He's not part of the problem." So they let me go. Didn't even give me a second look. Probably because I was white in L.A. It helps to be white in L.A. But I was there, and yeah, white supremacy is a vicious, horrible thing. But as far as an organized coup attempt or insurrection based on white supremacy, I don't know. There's probably going to be an insurrection. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with white supremacists. I think it's going to have to do with people that are just fed up with the fact that they're letting the world go down into the abyss and nobody's doing anything. And so someone's going to have to stand up and say, to hell with elections. We can't wait that long. And I'm serious about that. And as kind of a coda, I will say to Petri dish, if you want to get rid of white supremacy, why don't you be an example and resign tonight, today. Go to your office, your pretend office across the street, and write out and tender your resignation, because why should a white guy always be president? Why should a white male always be president? Patriarchal damn cluxer you are. So resign and give everyone an example. Every white person can resign after that, as long as there's someone of color to take their place. And the world will be equitable. And I'll talk about equity next time, because that is a ridiculous concept. The only equity you're going to get is what you earn. And if they start giving, and here's another reason why the shelves are empty. All these parents are getting these child credits every month now. They're pumping all this money into families, which is all well and good, But they have more money than they're used to, and they're spending it. And that's why there's empty shelves. So he's a failure all the way through and through. The speech was an abomination. And I will leave it at that. I could go on, and he'll make another speech, and I will lambaste that. And when he makes a speech that makes sense, I will prostrate myself, and I will whip myself, because I will feel so sorry that I misjudged him. But he should actually be chastised severely with a whip. And we'll leave it at that. 15:33. Okay, have a good morning.